people telling me I ain't nothing. I'm living in a world where people ain't respecting me. And now I'm adopting that mentality that I'm a nobody. And so when I look at you, I see me. So I see you too as nobody.
Yep, people project themselves, their feelings and stuff all the time on other people.
Yeah. So the minute that I see you in that same light, it's too easy for me to take you out of here
Yep.
because I don't even have that love for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's kind of what we're dealing with and what it boils down to with this level of numbness to the point where, we see a lot of violence and we see a lot of violence and death. And seeing our homeboys get killed to the point where we don't really grieve,
Right.
and think about that though, because when people die who you really care about, there's a level of grief that takes place where people become emotionally distraught. What up? It's your man, Mr. Dean, a.k.a. Cross. Listen to the ManUp Club presents on Holy Culture Radio. Y'all know what it is. You know what ManUp is. ManUp Club is a mentor leadership organization for young men between the ages of 13 and 24. And basically, we mentor in 4 distinct areas, which is life skills, social skills, academic discipline, civic responsibility, with 3 main goals, which is to get young men to graduate from high school, keep them out of the prison pipeline, and to get them to go into college or have a trade after high school. The reason we developed this podcast show is so we can give a voice to young black males across America. A lot of people talking, a lot of opinions and a lot of thoughts. But how often do you get an opportunity to hear from young black men? Because there's a lot of people who speak for young black men on behalf of young black men. But this show was developed so you could hear their voice specifically from them about how they feel about whatever, be it themselves, be it culture, be it spirituality, politics, whatever, just the whole human experience. So we're going to jump into it. I got one of our ManUp members, Mr. Timothy Kemp, 25 years old. Say what's up to the people, man. How you doing?
What's up? How y'all doing, man? It's Timothy Kemp. I'm here with Mr. Dean. I appreciate the opportunity, first and foremost. Thank God for everything, and yeah, let's get into it. Really wanted to talk about the youth.
Okay.
I want to talk about the youth, spread the message to the youth, as far as like a lot of things, generational curses, manifestations, just stuff like that.
Cool. So let's start with you, man. How'd you grow up? Tell me about how you grew up, bro.
All right, well, first and foremost, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Grew up Southside, Englewood, Chicago.
Tough area.
Yep, tough area. It's not your normal area, average area. A lot of gun violence, crime rates. It's Chicago at the end of the day, My mom moved us up here. Well, I got 5 siblings. I got 3 brothers and I got 3 brothers and 3 sisters. My mom moved us up here, I want to say around 2011 due to Chicago violence. I lost a brother to gun violence down there, so she moved us up here for a better life. She's now deceased, rest her soul.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, appreciate condolences. I just want to be a voice to the youth. So it's just like, I do music. I'm a music artist. I'm a lot of things. I do music. Really, that's it. 25 from Chicago, Illinois. I love sports. I do music. And I just want to spread the message, so I'm going to really get into it.
How old was your brother when he got murdered?
He was 28.
Okay, and how long ago was this?
This is 2009.
Okay, got you. Yeah, and how old were you at that time?
I was 9 years old.
That's tough.
Yep. And I didn't really realize what was going on. They just said, like, I just ain't seen him again, Like, it was crazy. And we just moved and stuff like that. But growing up in Chicago, you always got to be aware. Focus level got to be, on 100%. It's not really a normal life in Chicago. You grow up fast, you kind of miss childhood things, a lot of trauma, etc. But I mean, anywhere you go, I'm not. You could be from Chicago, you could be from Washington D.C. Anywhere you go, it could be a bad environment. And it's different. I'm not a person. I'm from there. I've been there recently. I'm not a person that just faking the funk and stuff like that. At the end of the day, his message is like, be yourself. At the end of the day, I done seen a lot of people go down the wrong road and things like that. And I know that people grow up in a bad environment and they think they can't make it, but they got it's so much hidden talent in these neighborhoods, especially in poverty, and we really don't get a chance to show it because we don't have that. It's different when you grew up in the suburbs. You got a gym down the street. You have resources down the street and things like that. And you have resources in poverty neighborhoods, but it's like you're trying to do right and do right, but it's so much temptation. As soon as you walk outside, anything can happen to you, but you want to be great. You're not a bad kid or nothing. It's just like stay focused. That's my message at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can be the best at sports. You can be the smartest at school, but you have to finish what you do. It's 1,000 Derrick Roses that didn't make it. It's 1,000 Kobe Bryants that didn't make it. You got to make it. And it's the work that you put in behind closed doors that nobody sees, and that's the toughest part. That you just got to stick through it and just have faith all the way, and God gonna make a way. Whatever you pray for, God's gonna make a way. And I know people pray for things, and it seems like it's gonna get harder. Things get harder, but it's all a test. It's all a test, and it's really light at the end of the tunnel. Like everything I'm saying, I'm a witness to. I'm not just saying this out of the book or nothing. This is me having faith from a lot of situations. I'd have been homeless before. I'd have been like gun violence, all type of things, and you'll never know. I'm gonna close the book, but I just want everybody to do right and just stay focused and be yourself. Like everybody, you don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be a person that told a gun. You don't have to be a drug dealer. You just be cool or fit in. That don't last long. It look good in the moment, but longevity is really important. That's really important at the end of the day. So
yeah, you talked about growing up in the hood and growing up in the inner city and not having a lot of opportunities. Like the suburb, kids who grow up in the suburbs and what have you. And I understand where you're coming from. And I think that's why it's so important for organizations to exist like the ManUp Club. I mean, that's one of the main reasons. Everything that you just said is one of the main reasons why, we started the ManUp Club. Because we wanted young men to be able to have a safe place to come, off the streets. We wanted to be able to have a place where they can get tutored, by other men and get guidance. You feel me?
Right.
Like you say, you're a music artist. That's why we have a studio for guys who have this level of talent that want to get into the studio and create music. And we have cooking program, construction program, all of these things, a gym, for young men to work out, Xbox, PlayStation. The list goes on and on. And I have to plug that because of the things that you said in your opening, man. Like that's really what it's about, is being able to give young men a chance, to being able to give young men an opportunity to be successful and to be able to tap into those talents. Where those talents can be cultivated, where those talents can be developed. Because like you said, a lot of people have these gifts and they have these talents and have these levels of intelligence. But sometimes living in the urban inner city community and in the hood, it can suffocate a lot of that for young men, and they never be able to tap into their potential and what have you. And looking at your situation, which is a real situation. You're 9 years old. You're an impressionable. At 9 years old, you impressionable. The world is your oyster. Like you can do whatever you want to do.
Right.
Like no worries. That's the time in which you dream big.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, your brother gets taken from you.
Yes.
And then you have to figure that out and process that. And go through grief. How did you deal with that from a grief standpoint?
I feel like at that age, I didn't really know what was going on, but I know what death meant. Like in between, knew what it meant. Then like it was like 50-50. Like obviously, I didn't see him die, but the news and the phone call and the way we reacted, it was just I felt it, and it's crazy because I have a brother. He we all have gifts, right, and talents and stuff, and I'm gonna get into that. But
Yeah.
my brother, I think after my big brother passed, I'm the youngest boy, by the way. The one that did not, the one that passed away. Well, my brother right now, when my brother passed away, he seen him after he passed away, like 10 minutes, like a ghost figure, like he seen that personally, like so it's just like it's crazy, man. It didn't really hit me at the moment. I didn't understand it, so I didn't know how to take it. I cried. Then it was like, it was just weird. And then like just to get up and go instantly, So it's like it was a lot taken from me, and it was like I didn't deal with a lot of deaths. Like I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I know like 50 people dead, and that's like family included, from people that I know in the neighborhoods to random people I meet, and it's just crazy out here and stuff like that. So I just try to. I don't have a problem with meeting new people, but I done met so many people like in the neighborhood, and then a week later they die, or a week later they go to jail. So it's like I don't want to say I'm immune to deaths or something, but like so much stuff that happened. It's like I don't cry no more. Like I don't shed tears. Like it's just like a numb feeling. But I do care about everything that I went through. It's just like numb at a point. Like
How you feel about that? The fact that you don't.
I mean, it's like
Well, let me ask another question before you answer that. Is it that you don't, or is it that you can't? Which is it?
it's I can't.
Okay.
Because I do feel it, and I just can't cry. It's so many tears that have been shed. It's so many. It's like it's numb.
How okay, yeah, how do you feel about that?
I feel like maybe maybe I need a therapist, and maybe people go through trauma all the time, and a lot of us is dealing with trauma that we don't know about.
Right.
Like paranoia. That's a trauma. Being paranoid when you do a certain thing and stuff like that. Maybe I don't know. Need help, therapist, but I feel like I done lost so many people close to me that is nothing a therapist can tell me. Like you can tell me this and you should do this, but at the end of the day, the people it's not a comeback. It's not a high again that I never get to say bye. So it's like I try to express my feelings and stuff through music. That's my safety net.
I want to challenge you in that regard because I think that there is something that can be done that can help you move forward if you have, number one, the right therapist. We didn't have one at the ManUp Club before, but it's interesting you bring it up because I see the need for it now. Like it's a real need,
Right.
and I am happy to say that we do have one now.
Right.
And I want to personally invite you to stop by.
I appreciate that so much.
I want to plug you with my mentor.
I appreciate that.
His name is Dr. Charles Morgan. He's a marriage and family licensed therapist, and he's one of few black men. He's a black man in America who's qualified and has these high level credentials. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, he is brilliant.
Right.
He's the real deal. I'm gonna give you the information for you to tap into him.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna take your word for it, Mr. Dean, for sure.
Talking about the death of your brother, man, and you've seen so much death to the point where you can't even cry. That's a tough place to be because I deal with that and I talk about that and I teach that to the young ManUp members in the organization. And the reason is because, and you're 100% right, Timothy, because I think that's part of our problem. And when I say us, I'm talking about young black males in America. That's part of our problem is that we've seen so much violence. We've seen it to the point where we're traumatized, but it's untreated trauma. To the point where, and it makes me nervous, like in your case, where you can't cry because you experience numbness. And I think that that's the core issue. I think that's why a lot of young black men kill each other.
Right.
Is because of their inability to feel, their inability to have empathy.
Yeah.
You feel me? I think back to, and I don't know if you're old enough to even remember this movie or even watched it, but because it precedes you. But have you ever heard of a movie called Juice
Yeah, for
with
sure.
Tupac and Omar
That's
Epps?
that's one of the ones, man, for sure.
Yeah, and there's a conversation that Tupac is having with Omar Epps at school, and he's like, he used the word shit. I can't say it on the show, but he's like, "Hey, man, I ain't nothing.
You ain't nothing.
You ain't nothing."
And when you figure out we both ain't nothing.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
the day that I don't want you to be nothing, I'll blow your brains out.
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
And what that symbolizes is that he don't see his value or his worth, and he's looking at his brother, which to him is a reflection of him in the mirror. I'm
Right.
looking at myself.
right.
So because I ain't nothing, people telling me I ain't nothing, I'm living in a world where people ain't respecting me. And now I'm adopting that mentality that I'm a nobody. And so when I look at you, I see me, so I see you too as nobody.
Yep, people project themselves, their feelings and stuff all the time on other people.
Yeah. So the minute that I see you in that same light, it's too easy for me to take you out of here
Yep.
because I don't even have that love for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's kind of what we're dealing with and what it boils down to with this level of numbness, to the point where, we see a lot of violence, and we see a lot of violence and death, and seeing our homeboys get killed to the point where we don't really grieve,
Right.
and think about that though, because when people die who you really care about, there's a level of grief that takes place where people become emotionally distraught.
Right.
They- they-
And you can really die from that too.
and they cry and they struggle. But the thing about that is, the reason they feel that pain so deep is, number one, is because they're allowing themselves to feel that pain. But that pain that they're expressing is the love that they had for that person. Does that make sense?
Right.
So
right.
the thing is, you can look at it from the perspective of, if I'm going through that tough of a time, then that's healthy, because it's allowing me to express how important that person was to me, how much I love that person, right?
And I think it's like, okay, because when like, okay, I dealt with a lot of deaths and I have a problem grieving,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, in a sense, it's like, how do I word this? I be in denial, right? So it's like, that's a problem when grieving, because it's like, okay, I want to grieve, but I don't want to accept the fact that this actually happened. So if I accept the fact that this actually happened, I don't know if I'm going to go crazy. I don't know if I'm going to emotionally go do something that I'm not supposed to do, if I'm accepting this fact and really like, dang, this is what it is. So it's like a 50% denial, 50% I know what's going on.
Both of them leading to a level of protection
Right,
for yourself,
right.
be it socially or emotionally or mentally, is basically what you're describing.
Right.
I rock with that.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you gotta, because you're trying to keep your own sanity.
Right, for sure.
That's powerful.
Yeah, and controlling emotions is really important. Like, especially growing up, like black, any race, just go for every race, but controlling emotions is important. You can go do 60 years in 60 seconds if you're not careful. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people lose their life, or they go commit a murder off of what the next person say, or they didn't call the disrespect this man, called him a B word. Now he did something. Now he done did 100 years. But it's like, that's not gangster. Gangster is taking care of your family, taking care of your loved ones, doing what you have to do as a man. Any movie y'all have seen, gangster, if it was Juice, if it was Paid in Full, etc., they took care of their family. They might have did some crimes, and I'm not saying those okay, but they took care of their family. Real street dudes are real. They take care of their family. It's not because you have a weapon, a firearm on you, and you shot or kill somebody that means you're tough or gang. That's not that. It's easy. It's easy to kill somebody, but it's hard to get out the hood and make 100 million and move all your people out. But it's easy to kill. That's not gangster. Stop y'all taking the easy way out. Take the hard way out.
Yeah. And life is not easy. And the thing is, we have to prepare our young boys, man, for life. And that's part of the problem with missing fathers, is being able to develop these young boys into young men. Is so critical and it's so imperative, because young men young boys need to see grown men make wise choices.
Man, that's important. Idols, role models, right? And growing up in Chicago, growing up in bad environments, I'm gonna tell y'all this personally. The first time I seen a person in a suit, he wasn't a businessman. He was in a casket. The first person I seen somebody in a suit, he was in a casket. It wasn't a businessman. So it's like it's what you see with your eyes. It go to your mind. That's how the body works. So you keep seeing the same thing, the same thing. You stuck in a cycle without knowing that you're in a cycle. You watching somebody sell drugs because they getting money quick. Now you done turn to that guy on the corner 10 years later. But if you see role models at the beginning in the early stage of your life, you're gonna grow up different. You see a doctor, your uncle is a doctor. It's that's what I'm saying with generational curses. How many of y'all got uncles that's lawyers, doctors? It's you got more probably drug dealers, more people in jail or dead than doctors and lawyers in your family, and that's not cool. So it's just like it's a generational curse thing, and to break generational curses, you got to get financially stable, get rich, or you just got to move positive, break the chain. If there's no lawyers in your family, become the first lawyer in your family. It's okay, because at the end of the day, if you're doing good or bad, if whatever profession you have, somebody always gonna have something to say. So you gotta have your own mind in here. You gotta have just your own heart and own soul. And it's good to take advice from people, but take advice from people that done what you're trying to do, or even better. People, it's easy to say, "Oh, you should do this," or no. When you ask a person a question, they're gonna give you their opinion of what they're gonna do. Don't take advice if they're not doing it better than you, or they didn't done it yet.
One of the things that I want to pick up on that you said, and I want to make a correction to it, which is, and I understand exactly what you meant by what you said, but I want to clean it up a little bit. It's not that you need to get rich in order to break generational curses, but you can break a generational curse by being rich if your family has been historically poor, and then you can become the first person to be rich. But the thing is, the way in which you break generational curses, in addition to, and everything is not necessarily a curse, but the way in which you can reset and reestablish your family, it really comes down to making smart and wise decisions one day at a time.
Yep.
That's really the recipe.
And that's man, like Mr. Dean said, he hit it right on the head with that, man. Longevity over temporary, and that's what everything. That's what job. That's what working. That's what perfecting your craft. That's, man. It's a marathon. Like Nipsey Hussle, it's a marathon. It's a marathon. Focus on what you got to do behind them closed doors, man. It's a longevity game, and I know it get hard because it's day by day. It's 1,000 problems, but you make it through that storm. It's a sunny day after that. I promise it is.
How often have you seen older men who look like you make wise and smart decisions?
Rare. I probably done made more wise decisions at this half of age that they are, like, and it's crazy. I can't really name you one person, Mr. Dean. You make wise decisions, and I have a mentor named Joseph. But other than that, I can't really name nobody.
Yeah, and I think that's the core of the issue. With the absence of fathers, there has to be someone to fill that void, because that's what it takes. It takes a man to raise young men. You feel me? And the depiction, and there are a lot of men out here who are very, very responsible, who take care of their children and who are taking care of their families and what have you. I think the issue is that you don't see them a lot because that's what they're doing.
Right.
And they're investing in that.
And then half of the time when they do show us on TV is selling drugs or is not in the right light. It's not what's up.
Yeah, media plays a horrible role in depicting Black America. Media plays into what they want you to see. You feel me? And not necessarily what the reality is.
Right.
And unfortunately, when you have young, impressionable minds, they kind of go by what they see. You feel me?
And it's all a system, man. As far as the music industry, a lot of stuff just be a system. You know how you find it crazy? How can you make a hit record nowadays talking about killing somebody. But if you talk about a struggle or a pain, it's not getting that much attention.
Right.
But you talk about killing somebody. Oh, they calling your phone. Let's sign this deal right now. Let's be for real. It's all a system.
And that's one of the things that I like to really help young men with, especially ones who are in music, is to understand the business of music. Because if you don't understand the business of music, you're not going to be able to sustain yourself anyway and make a sustainable income. You know, it's record label, because I own a record label. And so I understand the dynamics and how everything is at play. But, you know, if artists don't understand the business aspect of music, you know, there's no way that they're going to make sustainable income. They'll make income, you know, in a season.
Right.
But then when that season is over,
It's over.
Then it's over. You feel me? We're gonna jump back into that in a minute. It's your man, Mr. Dean. You listen to the ManUp Club presents on Holy Culture Radio. That's a hell of a statement that you made earlier, man, that I want to double back on. You said you had the first time you seen a man in a suit was in a casket.
Yeah.
That hits me hard in a certain type of way, because when I started the ManUp Club 13 years ago, that was one of the main things that was a part of our program. And I started it as an after-school program. And what I would do is I would do two things. I would always meet with young men after school, and I would feed them. And then I would always have them wear a suit when we met. And them wearing that suit, man, literally changed a lot of things as far as how they were treated in school, how they were perceived. Image is everything.
Appearance is definitely important.
Yeah, it is. And so, you know, whereas teachers would be afraid of them or didn't want to engage with them or what have you, you know, when they wore suits to school, all of a sudden they became much more approachable. Now, it's a sad reality that has to be what it takes in order for a person to treat you with some dignity and some respect. But the reality of it is that's what prompted them to do so. Right. You know, now you can debate that all day, but you know that's still a core of our program. We still have 13 years later. We still have a suit up program,
yeah, for sure,
within the ManUp Club. You know, and so what we do, we got about 500 suits, and what we do is we just give them to young men for free, because I feel like every young man should have a suit for different situations and circumstances. But I just think that it's beyond sad that that's the first time that you've seen a person in a suit. I can only imagine what that psychologically does to a person and their perception of when they see people with suits.
And that's another trauma thing. Like, you know, like trauma is really, really heavy out here. You know, man, it's certain songs, certain music you hear. It's a lot of stuff like that could just trigger trauma, and it's important to know, like your trauma triggers, etc., and things like that.
So when you're doing your music, what are you talking about in your music?
I'm talking about really what I seen, what I've done, what you know. I don't really kind of talk from a third person perspective.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes I do rap about that though. Like, I mean, third person. Like, okay, how does it look from this person, you know, view? Like how they life is. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're in poverty, it's a all the same story but a different book. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all the same story, just a different book. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, man, just stay focused out here.
I think we got to challenge hip hop culture, man, and the messages that they push and pump to the community.
Yeah, for sure.
Like especially black communities, urban inner city communities, because I think that it's a way in which I think music can perpetuate violence.
Yep, and it's crazy because music is definitely a big message. Like that's what music changed. See, I'm 25, but I didn't grew up on I love music, so I didn't grew up on T.I., Young Jeezy, Michael Jackson, like that, Soulja Boy. Like I grew up in that era. It wasn't no drills. It wasn't no King Von. It wasn't no drill rapping, and that era was cool. It wasn't no killing. And I was Chicago. It was killing here and there, but the music definitely plays a part, especially in this new generation. It's like, you know, you got to pay attention, but just stay yourself.
How do we get young men to buy into getting mentors and making good decisions and wanting to participate, in youth centers and organizations like the ManUp Club and other organizations around the country where what does it take to get to attract in your opinion, what does it take to attract young men to want to make those good decisions that can help them?
I mean, I'm a person like I say this all the time. Like I'm not a person that had to hit their head on a wall to know it's a brick wall. Don't wait to make a mistake to change your life. Don't, because you're gonna make the mistake that's gonna change your life, and it's gonna be bad. You don't want to do that. Even if you're not a bad kid, just do something positive every day. You get what I'm saying? Like, because you're not doing something positive, it's gonna lead negative. You get what I'm saying? So just move positive and just be yourself, man. Like,
what does it take?
What does it take?
Yeah,
for
like to attract young men. If you got young men who are out here moving reckless.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
If they out here moving reckless and they got these negative influences.
When you're in the streets and it's like, okay, food, I want to say, money. Well, I better that word, income. Okay. Income, stability, a place to lay their head. You get what I'm saying? The streets got all that. You can lay down on the streets right now if you want to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's money in the street. It's food. It's but it gotta just be in a different way. Stability, shelters, food programs every day, daily paid jobs. Like nobody wants to work 2 weeks and they don't have food at home, and then they now this dude quit his job because he's not finna get paid for 2 weeks. Now he done went to the neighborhood and sold drugs to feed his family today. We need to change the system. It needs to be a lot of daily paid things. Why is people working for 2 weeks and then getting paid, but they printing money every day? It don't make sense to me. You get what I'm saying? Why is it 50? Why is they making buildings, sports domes, 20 million, and there's people starving right outside the Metrodome? Y'all printing the money. It's crazy. We got to change the whole way of life, man. This stuff backwards. 9 times out of 10, the stuff they telling us not to do, we supposed to do it. The stuff they say don't eat, you gotta learn for yourself, man, and just have your own mind and stuff. And God made everybody, so it's just like never judge nobody a book by a cover or anything. I judge people off their soul, off their energy, not what you see. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of stereotypes going on nowadays. When you're African American dreads, they think you a murderer. They think you, but it's like take a time to have a conversation with a person. God made everybody at the end of the day. Nobody's,
So it's about relationship. Number one.
It's about relationship.
I'm hearing you saying about having that's what I'm hearing you say is that it's based on, number one, allowing yourself to be open enough to have a relationship with somebody and be brave enough.
And it's like, as far as people that look like us, we comfortable when it's people that look like us. We gonna open up more. That's like the movies you watch. You're gonna watch certain things. Oh, Denzel watching this movie, I want to see this. Because he looks like you. He has the same story. So it's like to lure. I don't want to say lure, but to pull people in.
It's relatable.
Relatable. Yeah. Relatable. You get what I'm saying? And 9 times 10, just by having the same skin, it's gonna be something relatable. You're gonna have some couple things relatable.
So in other words, it's not a negative thing that you want to do things with people who look like you, and it doesn't mean that you're a racist or whatever. So in other words, what I'm hearing you say is that there's a level of empowerment in being able to connect with people who are from your tribe,
right?
Because we're tribal people.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that a African American guy cannot be cool with a Caucasian dude that he can't relate more than than African American to African American. I'm just saying when you see somebody like yourself, it kind of lower your guard because you kind of feel comfortable because like, okay, I know for sure this person been through something that I've been through.
I think it's as simple as saying that you automatically know without even talking that the high probability that you have something in common.
Right, and just think about that thought, how crazy it is to know that a person that you never seen before, a person you never had a conversation with, just walking down the street and he the same skin as you, he been through some BS. That's crazy. That's crazy to know that.
Now that's interesting how you describe that a person who has the same skin as you automatically assume that they've been through some BS. Now, I'm gonna unpack that a little bit because that's giving a negative connotation to a skin color, and but that's sad because that's how America has conditioned its perception of black men,
Right.
which is horrible.
And I'm not saying like make an assumption on African American. Oh yeah, he's African American. He's seen the shootout. No, nothing like that. I'm just trying to clear the light when I'm saying like shed light on the system as far as this has been going on for 100 years. This has been going on for 1,000 years, and it's crazy that we know. Like it's crazy.
And then we haven't moved the needle on making it better.
Not at all.
In regards to progress.
And then at the end of the day, these people hire people and whatever you want to call them. They can change everything. They can change homelessness. They can change. They don't want to because they don't want nobody else in control. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they want to control. Personally, to me, it shouldn't even be a president of the United States. How is one person gonna run the world? That don't even make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be probably somebody for every state, a president for every state, or something like that. Why is one person running the world? It don't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective that you have. Well, so how do you look at leadership then?
I want to say leadership is being a leader is knowing you're a leader and you want to lead, not being a leader and you're scared to lead or what. I think somebody might judge you if you want to be a leader. Leaders lead with no ifs buts about it. Like leaders lead. I'm a leader and I've always been a leader. I didn't. And leaders need help too. I had to learn a couple things, couple tactics to become the great leader I am today. And some of it is just naturally God's given talent, but at the end of the day, leaders is just like, leaders is not the person that got the most money that you seen, not the nicest car, not the nicest clothes. A leader is somebody that want the best for you. You get what I'm saying? And they don't want you to go down a certain road, and they can show you better, and they can tell you better. That's a leader. Positive.
Yeah, I like the way you put that because that's important because there are a lot of leaders and there's a lot of leaders who will lead you down the wrong path.
Right, and then nowadays a lot of people got 20,000, they got all this money, but personality at a zero, fatherhood at a zero, don't know how to talk to women at a zero, don't know how to be people get blinded with the money and the cars and then a lot of people don't have personalities. Be yourself at the end of the day, man. You're gonna go farther.
I like the way you put that. You said you've been homeless, man. Talk about that. How'd you become homeless?
Man, and that's nothing. I ain't scared to tell my story because it is a God. Like I ain't embarrassed to say I was homeless. All that. I ain't. Don't be afraid to tell your story. Only God can judge me. But I done been homeless. Like I can't even really count on my fingers. When I first, like I was saying earlier, when I moved to Chicago from Chicago due to gun violence to my brother, we moved up here and we was homeless. Obviously, it was just like a get up and go, and I thank my mom for that. It didn't make sense back then, but as I got older and seeing the way of life and things happen, it's making sense now. But okay, I was homeless. I used to live with I want to say friend, but really want to say my brother. His name's Jalen Easton P4. Like he just passed away this last February. Rest his soul. Used to sleep on his floor. And he used to sleep on my floor. Like, his mama know my mom. We call each other mom. Each other mom's mom. Like, homelessness, it was real. Like, especially Minnesota, cold. Like, it's crazy waking up, not knowing where you're going to go the next day and what you're going to eat and stuff like that. So it's like, that kind of caused me to be in the streets, streets going to feed you. The streets is quick opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So, I was homeless for, I want to say like a year and a half. But I've been homeless a lot of times, so like I can't even really count on my fingers. But then I was I got a crib, last I want to say 6 months ago. By grace of God, then what I have to do, I was going to these using my resources, going to certain centers, doing what I have to do, filling out paperwork. I just ain't give up. And God made a way, and that's what I'm telling y'all. Like, have faith, man. Wherever you want out of life, I don't know what it is, God is gonna do that. And whatever you ask for God, you gotta work. He gonna give you more than 50%. You gotta put in that little work. You ask for this, put in that work. I don't care if you gotta catch the bus to work every day. God is gonna give you that card months later. Like, stick it through, man. Stay consistent. But I done been homeless too many times I can't count. Like,
How do you think that shaped you as a person?
I feel like that kind of, I want to say, not abandonment, but like a lot of people say I'm nonchalant, but I'm a Taurus, so it's like I feel like I'm naturally nonchalant, but like I don't feel a lot of. I done been homeless. I done seen people die in my face, so I really everything be like a shoulder shrug, like this what it is. Like I don't complain about none of my situations. Like, man, I'm Mr. Make It Happen, Mr. Figure It Out.
Tenacious, and resilient, very resilient, and a go getter, a survivor
Yeah.
is a true word for that. So, what is your situation now? How are you living? What are you doing? What's the next steps for you?
I got a crib now. What I'm doing as far as I'm doing my music, I'm working hard on that. I'm a person that what they say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Like I'm a longevity guy, so I'm working on my music. I'm really looking to drop like just a little EP, about 5 to 6 songs to get my recognition up, and then drop like a mixtape after that. That's as far as I'm doing personally music. I'm thinking about doing clothing design, like some shirts or hats. I gotta like order a printer, stuff like that. I'll just be on TikTok here and there, networking. I just love networking and just opportunities, man. Every day you wake up is just it's a new breath, new chance. It's just So that's personally, I'm just working on music and clothing design. Y'all can add me on Instagram at smooth_Escobar 2 R's. Triller as well, Smooth Escobar. Yeah. As far as and YouTube as well, I got a couple songs on there. Y'all can check it out. Like, subscribe, etc. But yeah, that's personally what I just got going on is music and.
You often mention God. Like tell me talk to me about your faith.
God amazing, man. Like, growing up, you so much stuff happened, bad stuff happened. You ask God like, why, or you don't think God is real, but then he shows you. Once that he show you when you ain't got nothing to eat, and then the food come. He show you when you homeless and your feet cold, and then the next day you at a spot. It's I just feel like you got to be. I'm like living proof of like having faith. Like I done been through everything under the sun, and I'm only 25. I'm not 50. I'm not 60. I'm not 100 years old. I done probably been through double what a person been through like my age. Like, man, I'm just you just gotta be. I'm just a living proof of it. Like I done been homeless. I didn't could have died so many times. Like so close. Like God is real.
And he's covered you.
God's covered me, shield me, man, the blood of Jesus. Like, God is real.
That's dope, man. Do you ever rap about God?
Not necessarily. Like, I won't probably be like super specific. Like, oh, God did this for me. But you will hear probably like a testimony in my rap. Like, okay, I was broke and woo, or I was homeless now. Stuff like that. But it's not like specifically like God did this, God did that. But if you can, you use your, little 2 cents and, you can tell like, okay, that's, for sure.
So all right. So you're working on the mixtape or the EP, what have you. Are there? And then you talked about the clothing line that you potentially may develop. Are you like currently working? Like what's your current status as far
right
as
now
employment?
it's just a mindset thing, right? First, because you gotta plan it out, and then you gotta do the physical. You gotta buy the shirts. You gotta. Right now, I'm mapping it out. Okay, how much this printer costs? What colors I want? What type of authentic stuff I want? Stuff like that, because it's like, okay, when you're doing something that you want to do, or you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, but I don't look at something when I do something. Okay, I'm gonna make a mistake. It's never no doubt in my mind or anything. So if I do something one time, I want to do it one time. So when I do this, it's not gonna be like a practice T-shirt high. It's gonna be a real official first launch and like.
So basically, what you're talking about is strategic planning.
Yes, for sure. Like anything I do, like if it's music, clothing design, you gotta always make your next move your best move, man. If that's whatever, like. Craft in real life, just make your next move your best move. So yeah, I got that. got that coming for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you've been in the Man Up Club, and you know, you've kind of been in and out of, you know, quite a bit and this, that, and the other, and you know, you come around. How has the Man Up Club benefited you? I'm curious to know that.
I want to say it keep me out of trouble. I mean, I'm not a super trouble guy. I'm a smart
And I'm
guy.
not looking for a cookie cutter answer.
Yeah,
I'm
no, I
legitimately
know for
asking,
sure.
like,
Like,
straight up.
yeah, but it kept me out of trouble. They provide meals there, and they give you it's construction, so they teach you like career. You can get a career. And it's not just a high construction and leave. They gonna actually talk to you, ask them many questions, and like Mr. Dean, he's a great idol, hardworking man. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like networking in there, just building relationships, and it's just like once you in there, you in there. Like you can leave 5 years and come back. Like when I was in there, I just had like I was facing homelessness, and they didn't know I was facing a lot of stuff. But the first thing they told me when I got in there, you can always come back. I didn't talk to Mr. Dean probably for a month straight, and he called me to this podcast. I don't talk to Mr. Dean every day, and that's his word. Like once you in there, you in there. You know what I'm saying? So it kept me out of trouble, provided meals, gave me insight. It teaches professionalism, like as far as going to interview, how to talk with respect, make people respect you, how to gain respect, how to read body language, just all type of like how to be a man and not make excuses. Just
Right.
is like just head on, just straight tactics that's gonna put you in the right direction, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up, man, because you know we poor, when I say we, I'm talking about people around the country who are youth advocates, or they have organizations that you know try to serve people. You never know, man. You know when you how you're going to impact, you know, somebody. You never know if they're gonna take the knowledge and information that you gave them and go do well and run with it,
Right.
or if it's just gonna go in one ear and out the other.
Right, and I'm a person, right, and I come from like I'm an empath person, right. So if people don't know that, I mean like one of my duties here on this earth is to relay messages to people and talk to them, right. So it's just like what I'm trying to say is I used to try to save everybody. The same stuff I'm saying right now, I just said to people for 5 years, 10 years in the streets, don't do this, bro. This is gonna lead this way, and they didn't went to destruction, right? So instead of trying to save people, I used to stress myself out. Dang, he ain't listening, man. That happened to him again. But now it's like I'm learning to realize as long as I get my message out to these people, no matter if they listen or not, I done my job at the end of the day. As long as I said this, no matter if you did this while I was talking to you, as long as I got my message out that God gave to me and gave to you, that's all I could do. Like they say, you could bring a horse to the water, but you can't force him to drink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the advice that I'm giving people is what I've been through. I'm not a person that's in the industry to get paid $1 million to talk about fake stuff or to put on no, this is real authentic. This is raw. You get what I'm saying? So I just talk to people, and if they listen, they listen. If they don't, they don't. And I don't try to put too much pressure on people because I'm not God. I'm not, and at the end of the day, people don't know me. So it's like, why would I take his advice? But I'm a person that been through what I'm saying. I know these situations. I know what the outcome gonna be. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why I get like a lot of respect. I don't have to be a killer. I get so much respect for who the person I am. And things like that. I never wanted to be nobody else. I always wanted to be myself. So
Yeah, Timothy, I think that you're a fine young man. I can appreciate how you've been navigating life despite the situations and circumstances that you've been through. I've seen young men who's been in similar situations as you, and they didn't make it, and they didn't make the right decisions, and they let the hardships of life overtake them. You feel me? So I just want to commend you on what you're doing, and even though you facing your struggles, and that's not over. I really love how, although you're going through situations and struggles yourself, that you're able to still find the ability to pour into other people and make sure that they're making great decisions. It's your man, Mr. Dean. You're listening to the Man Up Club on Holy Culture Radio. It's been good. Y'all know how to get at us. Reach us online at themanupclub.org. If you like what you hear and you want to support our organization, go to our website. please do so. Tap in and follow us on IG at themanupclub.mn. And we out.